Welcome to Writing 101, Episode 7, How to Sit Down and Write. Sometimes it seems like the easiest parts of being a writer are actually the hardest parts of being a writer. One of the hardest things to do being a writer is to get yourself to sit down and write. So here's a few tips on how to actually sit down and write. The first thing you should do is find a comfortable place. It doesn't have to be overly comfortable, but you have to be able to sit still and focus. You don't want to sit on your needle chair. Let other people know that you plan to be writing and that it is very important to you. Make sure that you explain to them that this time is the time that you've allotted for writing and that you really need them to respect that time and not to give you a hard time about taking it. You might also want to point out to them that there are reasons that they might want to interrupt you, but not to do so unless there's a real serious problem. This is especially useful with older kids who really can take care of themselves, but sometimes will come and ask you things that just absolutely aren't emergent, and it might help them to give you a little bit of space so that you can still write. The next step is gonna sound like a smart ass step, but it's not, and that is put one word after the other. Sometimes just remembering that one word is one more word is really hard. Sometimes you think, well, I'm probably not gonna get much further than this. And instead of going, well, how much further can I get? We bail because that's an easy answer. But if you can focus on not doing that, you can actually get further along than you think you can. Remember that editing is part of the process. You're gonna have changes in almost all circumstances. Just because you want it to be really good right now isn't a good reason for you to stop and spend all of your time focused on something and driving yourself crazy. If you've got something and you can't figure out what to do with it, trying to move forward without fixing it sometimes does work. I have had times where I can't remember the name of a character, so I just put sister in all caps and brackets. Then later when I go back to edit it, I'll have the sister's name and I'll be able to take care of that. In theory, I would keep track of the names on my paper that I'm supposed to be keeping track of that information, but sometimes you miss one. Next step is the step I miss. Take notes of details that you might forget, especially if you're working on a novel. That's a lot of information to just retain in your brain. Smaller characters might have traits or names or things that are harder for you to remember, and there is no shame in writing them down. You don't have to memorize those things. Keeping track of them can be very useful. One of the things I use to try to do that with, which doesn't always work because I'm lazy, is YWriter, which is a free program which helps you organize things. I guess it works to do similar things to Scrivener, but I think it's easier to use and it is free. Okay, and that does it for this week. Don't forget, every other week I do the Writing 101 videos, and then on the off weeks, I also do the AuthorTube NewTubers videos. After the NewTubers videos, I am also over on Twitch on a Dungeons & Dragons stream called Extreme Drowess at twitch.tv/plasticageplays. Down below, you'll find my Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Snapchat, and my Patreon. Please go check all of them out. Feel free to follow me in any of those places. Patrons do get some perks, and those are listed over on the Patreon. I want to thank you guys again for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week and good writing. Bye!